The verses 112, 1, 4 are from the Quran, the central religious text of Islam. They are from Surah Al Ikhlas, which is the 112th chapter of the Quran. Surah Al Ikhlas is a short chapter consisting of only 4 verses. It is considered one of the most concise and powerful declarations of the Islamic concept of the oneness of God, known as Tawheed. The verses are as follows. 1. Say, He is Allah, the One. 2. Allah, the eternal refuge. 3. He neither begets nor is born. 4. Nor is there to Him any equivalent. These verses emphasize the fundamental belief in the absolute oneness and uniqueness of God in Islam. They state that Allah is the only true deity, eternal and unchanging. Allah does not have offspring, nor was Allah born. There is nothing and no one that can be considered equivalent or comparable to Allah. Surah Al Ikhlas is highly significant in the Islamic faith and is often recited in daily prayers and other religious rituals. It serves as a reminder of the core principle of Tawheed and the belief in the absolute unity and singularity of God. It affirms that Allah is not part of a trinity, not a human or any earthly being, and there is no deity or power that is equal to or similar to Allah. By reciting Surah Al Ikhlas, Muslims affirm their belief in the oneness of God and reinforce their commitment to worship and submit to Allah alone. It serves as a concise yet powerful declaration of faith, encapsulating the essence of Islamic monotheism. The surah holds great importance in the daily spiritual life of Muslims, and its recitation is highly encouraged. Muslims often recite Surah Al Ikhlas, along with other chapters of the Quran in their prayers, seeking to deepen their connection with God and strengthen their understanding of Tawheed. Here is some more information about Surah Al Ikhlas and its significance in Islam. Central theme: Surah Al Ikhlas focuses on the concept of Tawheed, which is the central belief in the oneness of God in Islam. It highlights the absolute unity, uniqueness, and singularity of Allah, emphasizing that there is no deity or power besides Him. Emphasis on God's oneness. The surah begins with the command to say, He is Allah the One, affirming the monotheistic belief in the existence of a single, indivisible God. It reinforces the message that Allah is the only true deity and that all worship should be directed solely to Him. Eternal refuge. The second verse describes Allah as the eternal refuge. This emphasizes the eternal nature of God and His role as the ultimate source of refuge, protection, and solace for believers. It signifies that Allah is eternally present and available to those who seek His guidance and support. Negation of begetting and birth. Verses 3 and 4 explicitly state that Allah does not beget, nor is Allah born. These statements reject the notion of Allah having offspring or being a created being. This reinforces the Islamic belief in the transcendence and uniqueness of God, as well as the rejection of any form of anthropomorphism or similarity between Allah and creation. Denial of equivalence. The fourth verse declares that there is no one or anything that is equivalent to Allah. It emphasizes the incomparable nature of Allah and rejects the idea of associating partners or equals with Him. This further solidifies the concept of Tawheed and the belief that Allah is beyond comparison or resemblance. Emphasis on simplicity and clarity. Surah Al Ikhlas is concise, direct, and free from any ambiguity. Its brevity and clarity make it accessible to people of all ages and backgrounds. It serves as a powerful reminder of the central message of Islam and the importance of recognizing and affirming the oneness of God. Importance in worship. Surah Al Ikhlas holds great significance in Islamic worship and devotion. It is recited in the daily prayers, salah, and is often repeated multiple times during each prayer. Muslims also recite this surah outside of the formal prayers as a means of seeking blessings and drawing closer to Allah. Reward and virtue. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized the virtues and rewards associated with reciting Surah Al Ikhlas. He said that reciting it is equivalent to reciting 1/3 of the entire Quran. This highlights the special status and merit of this surah in the eyes of Muslims. Overall, Surah Al Ikhlas serves as a concise yet powerful declaration of faith in the oneness of God. Its recitation is a reminder of the core principle of Tawhid and the belief in the absolute unity and singularity of Allah. It holds a central place in Islamic worship, spirituality, and the daily lives of Muslims, affirming their commitment to monotheism and strengthening their connection with Allah.